Wurundjeri, Kusasangpo, Kimcho, Salamat Pagi Abakaba, Sana Sante Bawana, Talofa, G'day, how are you? I'm currently down at a location called Pound Bend, which is in Wurundjeri, around about, 50 k's east of Melbourne, in the outer suburbs, I'd guess you'd call it. This is, I believe, a state park, overseen or run or maintained, whatever word you want to take, maintained by the State Department of the National Parks Government Authority. Now here behind me, there's these posts that tell of the Wurundjeri story. Anything from the leaders to their spirit knowledge and what they hunted and how they were pushed out of this land, their traditional land, by the white settlers. So I'm going to read these to you in no particular order. So here we go. So this is titled Wurundjeri Past and Present. Traditional Wurundjeri clans operated under the leadership of an elected headsman, or Nungaragita, who was supported by nominated community leaders known as elders. The role of elders still exists in Wurundjeri culture today, reserved for the Wurundjeri family members who demonstrate community leadership. Now that makes total sense to me. There's two leaders here. There's Simon Wonga, born 1824, died 1874, and he was a visionary leader. The suburb of Wonga Park is named after Simon Wonga, who was nominated as Nurungita, or headsman, at the age of 22, and was well known by settlers as a gifted cattle musterer. Wonga recognised that European settlement was threatening the existence of his people. So he developed a survival plan that involved learning white man's way. Wonga negotiated land for his people at Pound Bend in 1850, which is here, and arranged work for his men on local farms. So the white man came and they're pushing them away, but you know, as a visionary leader, he wants his people to stay on their own land, and looks like they're forced to work, so he negotiated work that would, which, you know, their mindset was fairly close to nature. Wonga organised the last Gayip, or inter-clan gathering, at Pound Bend in 1852, and assisted the safe relocation of his people to Corondork Aboriginal Station in 1863, establishing the station as viable farming enterprise, or as a viable farming enterprise. That's really interesting. Second leader here, William Barrack, and those of you in Melbourne, there's a bridge named after him in basically the the central CBD, William Barrack Bridge. So William Barrack was a beloved leader. He was born in 1824 and died in 1903. William Barrack was born near Bushy Creek, and he's son of Bibergen the Ngurungaeta, who negotiated the Batman Treaty in 1835. I've heard of the Batman Treaty, I'll have to look into that. The only documented time when Europeans consulted Aboriginal people about land ownership. Barrack lived a traditional life until his clan's relocation to Corandurk in 1863. In 1875, William Barrack was appointed Ngurungaeta, or headsman, Ngurungaeta, after the passing of his cousin Simon Wonga. He became known as a charismatic leader, talented artist and vigorous campaigner for the Aboriginal rights. Barrack is considered to be the last of the traditional Wurundjeri Ngurungaeta. Wow, that's quite interesting. Present day Wurundjeri people are descendants of William Barrack through his sister Annie Borat and her son Robert Wandoon. Many Wurundjeri elders work with the Wurundjeri Tribal Land and Compensation Cultural Heritage Council Incorporated, focusing upon caring for country and preserving and sharing their cultural heritage. Many Wurundjeri elders contributed to the Wurundjeri Stories project at Pound Bend. Wow. So all of these boards, there's 6 of them. So they put their stamp, they put their story on these boards. And there's a little side note here. To find out more about the Wurundjeri Stories project and local Wurundjeri history, please visit Manningham Council website, www.manningham.vic.gov.au, or the Parks Victoria website, www.parks.vic.gov.au. That's quite interesting actually. Right, off to the next board. I might read out 2 boards per day because at the moment this has gone for 8 minutes. So let's go to the next board for today. Alright, so here's the next board. So I'll read 2, so this will be a total of 3 videos. This one is called, or headed, Wurundjeri Spirituality. Wurundjeri people believe that ancestral spirits created the world at the beginning of time during a period called the Dreamtime. Dreamtime stories have been passed through generations of Aboriginal people until the creation of country and the shaping of moral, cultural and spiritual law. 2 Dreamtime spiritual leaders of the Wurundjeri people are Bunjil, the eagle or eagle hawk, is the Wurundjeri's people creator spirit who created the land, the waterways and the people. Bunjil travelled across a formless land, marking sacred sites and defining cultural and spiritual law. Wa, or Wang, the raven crow, is a protector of the Wurundjeri people, and through trickery brought fire to Bunjil, who shared it with the people. Wow. So they're two birds, creator spirit and the tricky protector. Murrup Bik, or spirit country, is the next heading. Wurundjeri people have a deep spiritual connection to the land and believe that anything with a defined shape has its own spirit, known as Murrup Bik, spirit country. A tree or rock has its own spirit and features along the river. A forest or grass clearing has its own titulara, or spirit of place. And that's quite interesting because I've felt titulara here. I've felt spirits emitting from certain trees right here next to me on two particular days. As Wurundjeri people travelled by foot from this site, let's start again. As Wurundjeri people travelled by foot from site to site, singing country, following the marker tree roots, their cheerful voices informed the titulara spirits of their peaceful and respectful arrival at a place. Wow. Wurundjeri people believe that it is a human responsibility to care for country and respect its titulara. So true. Next heading, personal totems and spiritual protections. Now this is quite interesting, people. Well, it's all interesting. Each Wurundjeri child was given a personal spiritual protector totem at birth, which was usually a local native animal. If a child was given a wimbir or wallaby, for example, they were thought to be related to the ancestral spirit of Wimbur, and cultural law meant that the child would always protect and never hunt or eat that animal. This created a link between spiritual beliefs and one's responsibility to the land. Totems also helped identify one's family lineage, moiety and clan, as did markings in one's possum skin cloak, an item that every Wurundjeri child received at birth. Wow, that's so interesting. And yes, as I said before, I've certainly felt the titulara in this place, and this is the only location on which I've felt titulara, but it's so true. So that's the end of this first video. I hope you enjoyed it. I've got 4 more signs to read, so this was the second one. Okay, and I'll talk to you guys and girls later. I hope you felt that was quite interesting. So I've got 2 more videos, 4 more boards to read. All right, you take it easy. I'll talk to you boys and girls later. See ya.